Up.
Wow, tonight's red hot video, that's Tampon Tim. He did his best impersonation of Elmer Fudd in a completely staged pheasant hunting trip in Minnesota over the weekend. A desperate effort and failed effort to win over men as voters, who now favored Trump by 16 points in a new NBC News poll. And if anything, Kamala's running mate, old Tim over there, not being able to load his shotgun, did you see this, will probably only widen that gap, I would expect. But as for the so-called hunt, it didn't matter. CBS News reports that Walz didn't get one shot off, despite his efforts. He tried to shoot a shotgun and he couldn't make that happen out in a field. Actually, the hunters, people that really hunt in the United States weren't fooled by any of this in the photo op. One telling The Spectator, take it away before he Dick Cheney's someone. I think that's pretty good. Take it away before, Dick Cheney famously accidentally shot somebody in the face with bird shot when they're out in the field with shotguns. And this, I think Dick Cheney came off better than Tim Walz.
Probably, Chris. This reminds me of...
He at least fired the gun.
Yeah, right, at least he shot.
Remember when 20 years ago, John Kerry staging all of these photo ops? It reminds me of exactly that. The hunters in America are not going to be persuaded by this at all. Now, this is an important group that we know historically may not come out to vote. And so right. I do think that the Harris campaign might be onto something here. I just think that the execution was pretty poor in terms of how they got it done. But ultimately, at the end of the day, these photo ops are not going to make any bit of difference. The American people can see right through it.
It was terribly staged. It really was from start to finish. And they're a professional camera crew, and it was all set up to be a TV commercial, and they can't even do that now. Meanwhile, CNN, remember CNN? They used to be a cable news network. They weren't too happy when Scott Jennings, one of their own guys, had this take on Tim Walz's little hunting photo op.
This gender gap issue is real. It's a real problem, and you see the Democrats reacting to it. And I think what they are now finally in October, the election, coming to realize is that a lot of men think Democrats care more about dudes who want to become women than dudes who just want to be dudes.
Well,
and no hunting, cosplay, or cringy videos is going to change it. The bet is made.
They really don't like being mocked and ridiculed. They're very bad at taking mocks, aren't they?
No, they don't. And I think that's half of it, right? Just like the lack of a sense of humor. Trump always loses when he's bitter and angry, and he wins when he's having a good time. And right now he's a happy warrior. And this is craven, right? It's like after 4 years of you can't eat meat because of climate change, and you're not Latino, you're Latinx, and everything you like is problematic. Like, these things trickle down. Politics is downstream of culture. So it's not helped by the fact that the libs had doubled down on the policy element of making everything quote unquote masculine immoral. So now when you have Tim Walz cosplaying as some guy who is a manly man, everyone sees through it. Voters can smell BS from a mile away.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it'd be better if their men were manly, though.
We talked last week, I was thinking about the Vance to Walz comparison here of how they're trying to come across as relatable guys. And Vance went on a hunting trip, or a fishing trip, with the Ruthless podcast, and he actually knew how to fish, whereas Walz, that was the reason why they said they picked him over the Jew, right, was he's a dude, he's a regular guy, he knows what beer is, he knows how to load a gun. I talked to one of my friends who fires more shotguns than I have, and he said this video is indicative that Walz has never even held this specific gun in his entire life.
Right.
So to call this cosplay, I mean, maybe Tim Walz was just getting ready for Halloween.
Honestly.
What scared me about that video was that, like, I don't own a gun. I have never shot a gun like that. And that looks like me holding a gun. Like, that is not any one experience holding a gun. Also, too, going back to the video, that video Tim Walz posted of him hunting was 1 minute long. No shot was taken, nothing got killed, and it was more walking and talking than anything else. I don't know how you're gonna reach the male vote by showing a video of men walking and talking. That doesn't scream manly.
Maybe they were reaching out to PETA.
Oh.
Could be, since they didn't kill any animals in their hunt. And typically when you're loading a 12-gauge shotgun, you don't cradle the butt against your sensitive parts because the thing might go off and then you'd never sound the same again.